Welcome back to Nighthawk Gaming, and today we're having a look at the updated list as of July for the PlayStation Plus collection that has dropped. So if you if we have a jump into this, so if you've got the premium or extra tier, we get the bunch of new games that do come into it. And we'll start off with the classics catalogue this time, and as we jump into it, if it wants to load up, doesn't want to let us jump into it for some reason. Alright, well, we might come back to that one, but what we will do is the recently added, we'll jump into that for the main games, and you can see there a fairly decent selection, I would have thought there. So Dead Cells and Rain World are some previous ones there, but new out for this month's World War Z, plus the Aftermath content there. Monster Jam, Steel Titans, Dynasty Warriors 9. We've got Melty Blood, which I don't know anything about. This one sort of piqued my interest a little bit, which was Circus Electrique. I've downloaded that, and we might have a playthrough of that one as well. Samurai Warriors 5, World War Z, so the base game there. The Ascent, My Little Pony, and Fast and the Furious, but the couple we will have a bit more of a look in or look at. And we'll start off with SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, as you can see there, and that is the basically a re-release of a early 2000s game, re-released on to modern consoles, and that was dropped back in 2020. So a 3D platformer game there. Not without its charm. I don't think it was quite the update that quite a few people were looking for, but certainly it is a bit of fun as a 3D platformer, and not quite as common as they used to be, unfortunately, but there we go for that one. We'll have a look. Sniper Elite 5 is obviously a bit of a long-running series now with 5 games in there, and it's mildly misleading in the fact that it is a sniper game, but it's more of a sort of sneaking around a battlefield. There's quite often you'll go extended periods of time without utilising your sniper rifle and taking the long shots there, but you will do a bit of sneaking around the battlefield, and depending on how you want to play it, so there's different settings, and it will impact your gameplay. So you can have it basically a shooting game as we're used to. You aim at your target and shoot and you'll hit it, or you can up the difficulty level, and then you've got to take into factor like wind, bullet drop, and things like that, which can make it somewhat difficult. But it also does have the bullet time effects, as you saw just on the screen there. It does the X-ray vision basically as you're shooting to show where you've made your target. But that was a 2022 release, so a bit over 12 months old for that one. It Takes Two is the next one we'll have a look at, and that was released in March 2021, and onto the both the Xbox and the PlayStation systems, and then later on for the Nintendo Switch. But it's an interesting one that I've never actually got to, but I'm not sure if you can play it single player. It has to be done in a co-op, so you'd have to have someone to sit down with you, and you can either do it as a couch co-op or with a split screen, or online. So you can see there the split screen option there, but certainly it was fairly highly rated when it did come out on the consoles there. It does have a Metacritic score of the high 90s across most of the platforms there, so probably not a bad one if you can find someone to sit down and play with. The Undertale, and we'll have a look at this one. It's a bit of an RPG throwback type game, and you can see some of the graphical settings there, although there's no video that wants to play. bit of a different one. There is an option that you can play through it. In fact, that you don't actually kill any of the enemies, and depending on how you want to play, whether you're going to kill them, whether you're not going to kill them, it affects the ending there. But that was a 2015 release there, so a little bit older, but nonetheless it's very highly rated. I have played through it. I think I put maybe 10 or 15 hours into it. I have enjoyed it. It's probably started to wear a little bit thin for mine, but again, a pretty decent Metacritic score there in the low 90s across the board for Undertale. And the last one we will look at here is, if we can find it again, Dismantle, which I hadn't seen anything about, but it's certainly, I have downloaded it. We will have a bit of a playthrough it, but in effect it sort of looks like a almost a survival game, but you can, as the title suggests, basically destroy anything and everything in your path. So it'd be interesting to see how the play mechanics of that actually work. It does some, probably not a bad looking game graphically, but we can certainly, if you stay tuned to the channel, we will have a playthrough of some of those and see how we go with those. Now let's see if we can go into the classics catalogue and sort by recently added. And there's nothing new in that section there. So we will try one more time. If we can get into here. So here, yeah, here's the newest ones, the recently added. So you've got a couple there in Worms, which is always a fun little one. I'm not sure how well it'll hold up graphically these days, and it doesn't have a preview as such there. And Killzone Liberation, which was a PSP spin-off of the main Killzone franchise, Gravity Rush Portable, and then probably just in time for the upcoming TV series that they're releasing, although I'm surprised they haven't actually released a new game to go along with it, is Twisted Metal and Twisted Metal World Tour, which were some fun games back in the PS1 days. Again, I'm not sure how well it'll hold up graphically, but it was certainly a lot of fun to play back in the day. So I have downloaded a bit of a selection there, and we will jump into those on a separate video and play through some of those. So you can see I've got Worms, Twisted Metal, Dismantle, Fast and the Furious. Now I'm not sure about this one, but I thought I'd give it a look anyway. And then Circus Electric, which sort of looked like a almost a point and click adventure type game there. So interesting to see how that one plays out. But they're the updates for July on the PlayStation Plus Premium and Extra tiers. If you do have the subscription, jump into it. They're available to download as of now. And make sure you do stay tuned to the channel, because we will be playing through some of those games in the upcoming days and weeks, and we'll have some videos up in relation to those as well. And if you could take a bit of time just to like and subscribe to the channel, it certainly does help us out as we're kicking along in the infancy of this channel. But that'll do us for now, and thanks for watching Nighthawk Gaming.